when I was pregnant with him, I didn't know until the pregnancy was 4 months. So, my grandfather's own house is located up on the other side, which I'll show you. He had so many wives, and other houses are after that garden you see. Hey guys, you're welcome to my channel. If you are seeing this face for the first time, thank you for coming. Let this not be your last. To my returning subscribers, I want to say thank you for always coming back. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching my videos. God will bless you. So on today's video, guys, I'm going to visit my mother's family home. So since I came back to the village, I've not gone there, and I really wonder how it would look like. So I just decided to take a walk there. It's actually far from home. Yeah, it's on a mountainous area, and I'll be doing a lot of climbing. So I want you all to come with me. Guys, did I tell you my son clocked 3 the other day? I really don't know how to thank God. I'm so grateful for everything that God has been doing in my life. Like if I go back memory lane, from the day I conceived this boy, right down to the day that I gave birth to him, it has been God's grace, guys. You know, when I was pregnant with him, I didn't know until the pregnancy was 4 months. So that's when I started my antenatal. And when I started, I was checked up. They did some tests. They did so like a lot of check-ups, and they realized that I had a fibroid in my womb, and the fibroid was growing so rapidly, and it was placed where my son was, you know, where on the side where the fetus was. Guys, you can't imagine that when I was due and I went to give birth to my son, after laboring for more than 16 hours, he was still not coming forth. And then we decided to change. They did everything they could where I went to give birth, but it was not happening. So we decided to change the hospital, and we went elsewhere, somewhere that was better. And then that's where they realized that the canal, that's my birth canal, was so tiny for a fetus to go through. And at that point, I was already seeing the heavens on my face. Imagine someone that has been laboring since the previous day. And the hospital that told me this, they also said that I should immediately be placed for or on CC. And then the problem still was that the doctor, the surgeon that was in charge of this was not on seat. So they had to take me to another maternity hospital to give birth. When we got there, guys, it's a long story. I just want to give you tips. When we got there, they finally placed me on emergency, on an emergency. And after some hours, my baby was born. And from his birth right down to this point, it has been God's grace, guys. I'm so grateful to God for everything that He has been doing in my life. If not for His grace, I wouldn't have been alive today. Yeah.
$2,000 later.
So guys, this is where my mom grew up. And by the way, this is where my grandfather, look at my grandfather's grave. This is where he was buried. I never knew I would meet anyone at the compound because it's been way long. This woman is one of my father's family, my grandfather's family members. And the house he just saw is where my grandmother used to stay with her own children. My mom came from a polygamous home as well. That's why you see these two houses got each two apartments each. My grandfather's own house is located up on the other side, which I'll show you. He had so many wives, and other houses are after that garden you see. If you walk through this part, you see other houses where other wives occupied. Yeah, so guys, I just had to, look around the compound. It took me back to memory lane. I had to take some selfies. So guys, that is my grandfather's house. This house, it's on a hill and it's not far from other houses. The compound has 3 houses. Each house has 2 apartments for all his wives. He had so many wives. My grandmother was just one of them. There are other houses. When you use this path, when you get through this path, you find so many other houses built by him. So this is where he used to stay. And when they cook food, when his wives cook food, this is where they come up to serve the food so he can eat. Yes, they normally served his food here. They'll just climb up these steps, climb up the steps, climb up the steps, climb up the steps, and then they served his food, and then he eats. He used to be a very great man. In those days, he was one of the richest men in this land. He was actually. He was one of the richest men in this land. He owned so many lands, so many pieces of land. He had cows, he had, a lot of trees. So this was his doorstep. No one lives here since he died. I think this is a picture of him, just that the image has depreciated. Since he died, no one has been occupying this house. Even his successor does not live here anymore. He stays at his home where he builds, and he normally comes from time to time to check up on the compound, to check up on everyone that stays in the compound. The elderly woman you saw down there when I was just coming in is one of my grandfather's relatives that came that decided to relocate to this place. She's occupying the house in which my grandmother used to stay, and she was very happy to see me. So guys, I've visited her in her house, and she received me very, hospitably. Now I'm about to go back home, and I'm filled with joy to have visited my mother's family compound today. What a pleasure. It took me back to memory lane. I remember how I used to come for holidays here when I was little, and I would come and stay like some weeks, some days with my grandmother before she finally died. And here I am. I visited her house again, even though it's someone else that occupies it. But I'm so happy to see my mother's family compound again. So guys, thank you for coming with me. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and most importantly, guys, if you are watching and you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please remember to recommend my channel to anyone that you know. Remember to recommend my channel to anyone that you come across, and God will bless you and meet you at the point of your needs. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.